Welcome back to Grammar Grade 10. This is Unit 11, Lesson 87, and today we meet the smallest mark on the whole page, the hyphen. It's barely a flick of the pen, but it does a surprising amount of work. It builds words out of other words. It holds numbers together, and, as you'll see, it can completely change what a sentence means. Let's take a close look. Back in Lesson 81, we studied the dash, that long mark that cracks a sentence open and shoves a thought off to the side. The hyphen looks similar, but its job is the exact opposite. The hyphen is the little joiner. Look at these three: self-aware, 21, well-known. In every one of them, that tiny mark reaches out and pulls two separate pieces into one single unit. So hold this contrast in your head all lesson long. The dash separates, and the hyphen joins. One short mark, one job: to hold two words together so your reader sees them as one. Let's take the rules one at a time, and we'll start with prefixes. Rule 1. Use a hyphen whenever a prefix is joined to a proper noun or a proper adjective. That is, to a word that begins with a capital letter. Pre-Columbian, anti-American, mid-July. You would never squash those together into one solid word. The capital needs breathing room, and the hyphen gives it. Rule 2. There are four little pieces that always take a hyphen: the prefixes all, ex, and self, plus the ending elect. All-star, ex-champion, self-aware, president-elect. Every one of those is hyphenated, every single time. So the quick test for this board is easy. Is there a capital letter right after the prefix? Then hyphen it. Next up, numbers. Rule 3 says to hyphenate compound numbers when you spell them out, from 21 all the way up through 99. 37, 64, 99. Each one carries a hyphen right in the middle. Rule 4 is about fractions, and it comes with a twist. When a fraction acts as a modifier, when it is describing a noun, it takes a hyphen. A 2/3 majority passed the bill. But when the fraction is the noun itself, the thing you're actually talking about, there's no hyphen at all. 2/3 of the class voted yes. Same two words, two completely different jobs. So keep it simple. If it's spelled out and it lands between 21 and 99, hyphen it. Here's the rule you will actually use in your own writing, so let's slow right down. When two or more words team up to work as a single adjective, and they sit directly in front of the noun they describe, you hyphenate them. Listen, a well-known author. Well and known are two separate words, but together they do one job. They describe the author. A 10-year-old boy. That's three words working as one adjective. A state-of-the-art laboratory. Four words, still one adjective. The hyphens are the glue that tells your reader, hold all of this together and take it as a single describing word. So the question is simply this: does the compound come before the noun? Then hyphen it. Now for the trap, and this one catches almost everybody. That hyphen only belongs there while the compound sits in front of the noun. Watch what happens when we move it. A well-known author signed my book. The compound is in front of the noun, so the hyphen stays. But now, the author is well known. This time, the compound has slid behind the noun, over on the far side of the verb, and the hyphen simply disappears. Before the noun, hyphen. After the noun, nothing. And here's one more warning, a big one. If the first word is an adverb ending in ly, you never hyphenate at all. We write a carefully written essay with no hyphen, because carefully already tells you it is describing written. That ly ending does the joining for you. Let me show you why this tiny mark is worth caring about, because the hyphen can flip the meaning of a phrase completely. Read this one, a small business owner. The hyphen ties small to business, so small is describing the business. This is a person who owns a small business. Perfectly clear. Now take the hyphen out and watch. A small business owner. Suddenly, nothing ties small to business, so small drifts over and lands on the owner instead. You have just described a short person who happens to own a business. Same 4 words, same order. One little mark decides who is small. That's the power you're holding. There is one last job for the hyphen, and it's the oldest one of all. When a word won't fit at the end of a line, you may break it and carry the rest down to the next line, but only in the right place. Always break between syllables. Say the word out loud, and your own voice will show you the seams. Wonderful splits after one, and again after der. Significant breaks after sig. Stalling breaks between the 2 L's. And there is one thing you must never do. Never strand a single letter. You can't split about into a and bout, leaving one lonely letter hanging at the edge of the line. So remember it this way. Break at a syllable. Never one letter alone. Time to practice. In this first set, I'll show you a phrase, and you choose the correct form, hyphen or no hyphen. Pause the video and decide before I give each answer. The blank ruins amaze the travelers, and our word is the prefix pre, attached to Colombian. Colombian is a proper adjective. It starts with a capital letter. A prefix joined to a proper adjective always takes a hyphen, so the answer is pre-Columbian. Spelled out, the number 47 is what? Compound numbers from 21 through 99 always carry a hyphen between the 2 parts, and 47 sits right in that range. So the correct form is 47 with a hyphen. Blank of the class voted yes. Ask yourself, is this fraction describing a noun, or is it the noun? Here it is the subject of the sentence, the thing doing the voting. A fraction used as a noun takes no hyphen, so the answer is 2/3, written as 2 separate words. For this second set, keep your eye on where the compound sits. Is it standing in front of the noun, or has it slipped behind it? And watch out for that ly adverb. Pause and choose before each answer. She bought a blank camera. Where does the compound sit? It comes right before the noun camera, working as one single adjective. A compound modifier in front of the noun takes hyphens, so the answer is state of the art, all hooked together. Her new camera is blank. Same words, but look where they landed. The compound has moved behind the noun, over on the far side of the verb. Once it follows the noun, the hyphens drop away, so the answer is state of the art, with no hyphens at all. He handed in a blank essay. It's true that the compound comes before the noun, but check the first word. Carefully is an adverb ending in ly, and an ly adverb never takes a hyphen. So the answer is carefully written, 2 clean words with nothing between them. Let's pull it all together. The hyphen joins. Use it after a prefix stuck onto a proper word, like pre-Columbian. Use it with all, ex, self, and elect. and use it in spelled out numbers from 21 through 99, and in fractions that modify. Use a hyphen in a compound modifier that comes before the noun, but drop it the moment that compound moves behind the noun, and never use it after an adverb ending in ly. And remember the reason all of this matters. The hyphen changes meaning. A small business owner is not the same thing as a small business owner. That's lesson 87 of Grammar Grade 10. Practice spotting hyphens in whatever you read this week, and I'll see you in the next lesson.